Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gearhead Perspective. Tonight, we're going to talk about some events we part, partook in. We went to an event we went to, and
Smoted?
some stuff. Smoten? I'm a demigod. I will smote thee. Anyway, a little bit of Moana reference for you. And some upcoming events that we've kind of hit on already. Well, kind of. We have talked about them, but we got some more information on them. And I'm sure that'll lead to whatever nonsense we normally talk about anyway. I know John's got some stuff coming up, or his stuff that he wants to talk about. Exciting news.
Yeah.
What'd you work on today, John?
I polished off the exhaust on the Nova. Sounds rowdy. Sounds really good.
It does sound rowdy.
Learned real quick how much I was leaving on the table. Not that I've actually driven the car, but I just starting it and letting it idle. It sounds
you can just feel it, right?
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
There's a big ding difference happening there.
On a scale of 1 to debacle, how much of a pain has it been?
Man, that was bad. Not because of the headers or the exhaust or any of that business, just the way I had everything done. And I'm pretty sure that the whole time I've had this big block in here, I've had it like a little bit too far forward, which the motor mounts and everything lined up. It was fine, but you could just tell that it's a little too close to the core support. And through the whole process of getting these in, it was obvious that everything would work out if the motor was back like 3/8. So I had to remount the mid plate, go to a different set of motor mounts, redo the transmission mount. Like everything was a debacle.
Just for 3/8 of an inch.
Yeah, I needed 3/8 of an inch that bad.
Yeah. Well, hey,
I've never really been in that position before.
Story of my life, brother. You not so much. Anyway, moving on. No, we were talking earlier, and you told me like, man, I don't want to record another show unless my stuff is done because I don't want to be like, well, a week went by and I didn't get my headers on.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing.
No,
I mean, you can only talk about a simple project for so many shows in a row.
I hear you, but then I brought up. I said, man, you went to 4-inch exhaust.
Yeah,
that's not a no. And 2.5 or 2.25 inch primary tubes?
2.25 primaries on the headers and
4-inch collector,
4-inch full 4-inch tube.
Okay, so that's a significant change from 3-inch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So not everything's going to be perfect and bolt right up and it's perfect. That's not how it works.
No, and those headers are beef. They're in there. Like they clear everything once they're in, but that's some mass to put in that.
When you get to running stuff like that, it's not for factory fit type of situation.
No, not really.
It's a modified setup.
It's a chore.
Yeah.
There's no putting the headers in or out without disconnecting the motor mounts, taking the top and bottom motor mounts off, disconnecting the mid plate and lifting the engine up all the way to where the transmission contacts the tunnel.
All I'm hearing is it was worth it.
It was 100% worth it. I mean, it's not like I got to put them in all the time. They're in there like swimwear. Yeah. It's done. But
and there's a lot of headers out there that you kind of have to go through some of those problems to get them in there. But I know the ones that you put in this car are they're not even your standard aftermarket performance header.
No, they're a set of Lemons headers made for a factory front subframe that's already been converted to front steer rack and pinion for first gen Camaro or 6874 Nova. So it's very specific to it's not just a truck header, a car header. It's a very specific header. And they're for, the raised port Brodix heads. Everything is matched now. It's money. And let me tell you, one of the big reasons. So there's two big reasons why I really wanted more different headers. One is because I knew I wasn't flowing near enough air, which became grossly obvious after starting the car. But two, I've went through, I'm going to say $400 worth of plug wires just because I keep burning them, and like there's nothing I could do to get them away from header tubes. And after putting these headers on and running the plug wires and seeing that the plugs are all a solid half, 3/4 of a mile away from any given header tube, you would think that I think they were like Flotex or so. They were like a catalog header that I had on here before that fits a big block in a Nova. But you would think they were trying to get the damn header tubes in the way. You know, it's so easy when you buy really, really, really nice parts that it's, I don't know, just the longevity that go forward. It's all worth the pain and suffering that I went through the last week.
That goes right back to what Bo was talking about on the last, I think, 2 shows. Like, a lot of times you're getting what you pay for. A lot of times it pays off to go ahead and just make sure that you're getting the right part.
Yeah. Like I just said, I've spent $600, I bet, no doubt, in the last year and a half on plug wires alone, because I keep burning them, buying more.
Yeah, but you buy the good ones too. You don't buy the Street Fire ones that I use.
Well, that's all I could get the last time. So I got like half a set of those, half a set of the superconductor MSD deals. It's now I can put a set of plug wires on it and Ron Popeil, set it and forget it. And so
that's funny.
But yeah, did not want to jump on here and say crap's not done.
Yeah.
Crap's done.
Hey, have we talked about, or have we recorded since we got all signed up for? Oh no, we got signed up for the circuit, and we did talk about that, right?
Did we?
We talked about it. Talked about it a little bit, but I do have some stuff for later on in the show. But if you want to go ahead and get into it,
no, that it just hit me because you're almost, man, you're close. Your car's already better than it was a month ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My car is way better than it was a month ago.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We're making some pretty good progress, but with that being said, we've got some stuff coming up that's pretty stinking local.
Yeah.
Starting with the circuit, which I think we have talked about. We all meet, you and I got signed up for that. Fro's going to be my co-driver, / Jungle Fro. We get that deal worked out. And
yeah.
That's not
now, last time we talked about it, it was pre-sign up because it was all just in our, which we're both veterans, so we were like shoot in as long as we have enough allowance.
Well,
sign the check.
It's a technicality for me. I paid last year. I paid, and then my car wasn't done, so I didn't actually take my car, but I still paid, so I was still technically a veteran. So anyway,
which is fine. I'm signed up. Shanda's signed up. I'll be there in the Nova. She'll be there in the Challenger. Chris jumped on the wait list because he said he's moving on in June. So he wanted to do one of these before he shipped off to the military. But should be you're signed up. I don't know if anybody else in Miami's
I don't know.
Group signed up, but yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Sure. Yeah, no, will be. And they're adding a track this year. And
that's exciting for me.
Yeah, a couple decent stops. But speaking of adding tracks, man, we are in the great area.
Yeah.
Right now for Drag and Drive next year. Jeez, I can't believe the microphone.
Yes.
We've got so the circuit, that's a nice, that'll be a nice one. But
Mocan, Springfield, Mocan, nice 3-day weekend, 4-day,
awesome.
whatever.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Bringing that thing up. Look how fancy we are. That's
how fancy we are.
We're so professional.
Fancy. April 19th, Mocan. The 18th, you go. There's a pre-party. 19th at Mocan, 20th at Ozark. It's going to be I guess the 19th will race, and then afternoon or evening drive day, and then parking lot beverages and then gates open at 9 at Ozark, and then back to Mocan on Sunday. That couldn't be a better put together deal.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to this.
And I know that Mike Narks has been out scouting some of the stops you guys are going to be hitting. He's one of those guys who knows that area really well. Some of the sites that he's hitting are very, very familiar to us. We enjoy going to a lot of those places. I know one of them's Big Brutus. I always like Big Brutus.
Yeah,
but that's that's your circuit, and then we'll roll right into what the next one is.
Hey, hold on, stop.
No, go ahead.
Sidebar. I think, I've talked to Mike Narks. I'm trying to weasel him and getting on the show with us and talking about a bunch of this stuff. I think my lights are shutting off. He'll be on here, I think, sometime after PRI. That's a different story. But I've been, I read his posts about all the stuff coming up or whatever, and I'm pretty sure that he may or may not listen to John directly. Did you guys notice in one of his posts he said something about having parking lot beers? That's John Doherty saying. Porch beers, parking lot beers,
yeah,
garage beers.
Yeah, I like them all over the place.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I actually screenshot that and I meant to send it to you guys.
This week I'm on the water.
Yeah, well,
shedding weight.
But no, we're looking forward to that. And if you look down in the lower right-hand corner, I hope that's where it's at. Drag and Drive Addiction, that's where you're going to go to find your information on this. Go to the circuit. You'll find your information on it there. Both of those are on Facebook. Check them out. Narks is actually he is actually a listener, so it's one of those things where shout out to him.
Oh yeah.
Other Drag and Drive events, and this is where you guys are going to jump back in again.
Man, Rocky Mountain Race Week, the 1.0, the first one this year.
The number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The race week, the Rocky Mountain Race Week in the Flatlands.
I wonder how many times people are going to go, that John Denver's full of shit, man. After
yeah, because there ain't no mountain.
Rockies ain't so rocky.
They can't even spell mountain in Tulsa. Like that.
All I'm saying is I am good. I will be on the wait list for this deal.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, I'll be for sure. I'll wait list and then I'll drag my heap to Tulsa just to see if there's a chance. Because
I'll show up anyway. Exactly my point. I will be there no matter what.
So just to kind of run through this, because I will be converting this over to audio. This is the Rocky Mountain Race Week schedule. June 23rd, you're looking at Tulsa Raceway Park. June 24th is Drive Day. June 25th, Texas Motorplex. That's Ennis. June 26th, back to Thunder Valley in Oklahoma City. June 27th, our hometown racetrack of Mocan Dragway.
Mocan.
bringing it to the can. And then June 28th, we're going to Tulsa Raceway Park again to finish this thing up.
End it back at Tulsa.
I'm going to go on record and say I plan to attend this deal.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to do whatever I can to get in that thing.
Agreed. And if I don't get in, I'm going to drive along and pester and try to get everybody to street race. I mean, at the track.
The track.
Yeah.
Grudge race at the track.
Grudge race track.
Well, and Rocky Mountain Race Week has they have a separate category, which is what, Road Week.
Yeah,
Road Week. Yeah.
Road Week is where you can drive along with your car that's not a fast car. And
easy.
Hey, man.
Well, Road Week is
please
Bro misspoke. What Road Week is you it don't cost near quite as much as Race Week, but it gets you admission to all the tracks. Yep. You get the same treatment as the racers when you get to the tracks. You get
parking in the pits.
Right into the pits. You're parked with all the guys. You're one of them. And and the cool thing about Road Week, Chris, my youngest, has done the Road Week deal before. at any track, when they get to a point where they've got open staging lanes, they call road weakers up there, and they just let them go make a blistering 17-second pass in their V6 Mustang.
Hey, he had a good time though.
He had a very good time.
Oh yeah,
He had just as much fun as anybody else.
Yeah, there's no doubt that. I mean, he got to. I mean, he didn't have the porch beers, but he was porch beer adjacent at the hotels. You know, it's a car show at every hotel every night. He got to be involved with that. He met a lot of cool people. Still did the same stuff the rest of us did. Only he actually had more fun that year because he didn't blow his car up, and I did.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna bring it up.
That's fine.
So the big thing to remember on Rocky Mountain Race Week is registration dates are going to be February 16th for veterans, February 17th for everybody else. So
I don't feel ready right now.
Again, go to Rocky Mountain Race Week on Facebook. Check them out. All your details will be over there. We'll go ahead and get into the next one where you guys can jump in again unless you have
to me, I know a lot of people are probably not necessarily going to like that deal because the first Rocky Mountain Race Week is normally in the mountains, right?
Yeah, hence the mountain thing.
Yeah, it's the mountain thing. But there's been some track closures and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not a part of that committee that sets up the
It's not a committee. It's Matt Frost figuring out where he can go and how he can go there.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a part of it.
I think it's going to be rough to have a Rocky Mountain based race going forward. There's just, I don't know that there's enough tracks in the mount, like in that region. I mean, I'm really glad I got to do the last one that was.
Yeah. If you were going to speculate on where Rocky Mountain 2.0, which is what I call it, where it's going to be, what's your ideas on that? Any ideas yet?
I thought Matt posted the other day. He was trying because somebody was asking how come Flying H didn't work out, and he said it just dates didn't work out, schedule didn't work out. But I think he was still looking at that for a possibility on 2.0, the fall deal. But I mean, there was talks of it being there and up north.
Yeah. Well, and Flying H isn't done yet. Like you can actually go to their Facebook page and see the progress.
Yeah.
It's not finished. So I can see where it would cause a problem. Yeah.
Well, they're scheduling events, but somebody said it was supposed to have been running cars by the end of September and that there's still a dirt return road. So not sure progress there, but I do know they're scheduling events though.
Well, and it's since we mentioned Flying H was actually one of the tracks that we speculated when we talked about the SICK 66 event coming up. Turns out our speculations were off on Flying H. So you guys fire into this one.
We've talked about this event a lot, and I think John, I'm not going to speak for you, but I mean, I think John said he's going to try to get in on this if possible.
Yeah, I filled out the deal.
As much as I would like to be a part of it and go race, I just don't feel like my car's going to make the cut in kind of what SICK Week historically is looking for. They're looking for some faster cars.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've got a fast enough NA setup to qualify there. I mean, there's you gotta give them some car specs when you put a intent or whatever. Yeah, I mean they ask, what's the car, what class are you planning on running, what's what times in mile an hour are you running currently, what's your safety BS, where are you started to, what kind of cage do you have in the car? Several questions, but I mean, looking at what they've done in the past, I don't know, my car would be right about the middle of the pack on ET.
So do they pick and choose their the racers, or is it not? It's not a first come first serve thing, is it?
Nobody write this down. It ain't from the Book of John. I'm just saying. I have heard that they do these deals where, like, I filled out a form that just said I want to do it.
Yeah,
and they've had over 1,000 other Johns fill out a form that says I want to do it. And my gut feel is that they probably go through and look for what makes, how many cars do we want in each class, and what makes a good car. If they want a dozen cars in a big block, my guess is they're going to start at the top and say, okay, these guys have 990 cars, and these guys, and work their way down from there. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of I don't know either for sure, but that's kind of the vibe I get, is they kind of go through and you know what? For that event, I don't blame them. I mean, if that's what they want, if they want the fastest of the fast NA cars and fastest of the fast street cars, I get it. You don't want someone like me showing up and entering a class and then being 3 seconds slower than everybody else.
You know, they've got a big
that would make me
a big pool of like Bullseye Challenge or You versus You or whatever that is. I just don't know how they pick all those cars. You need
if there's 100 cars, say there's a 20, they have a class for 25 cars for You versus You, whatever they call it.
Right.
And let's say I got my car dialed in at 1250.
Yeah.
Right. If there's, and there, like I said, there's 100 applicants for this class.
Yeah.
If everybody else is running 9s and 9.0s or whatever, significantly faster than the 1250, why would they ever pick the wagon? They want the fast cars there. And I get that. That's their thing. So with all that being said, I still plan on going and participating in probably the majority of this event. Me and Fro talked about it. We're going to be there. Now, I don't think I'm going to sign up and try to race because I don't think my car would make it in any class. Now, if they have a maroon and black wagon class, then I'll enter. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I mean,
you may need to just look good in a pair of yoga pants.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how you get into that deal.
Hey, now.
So,
but I am looking forward to this. It's going to be a great event. I feel like.
I think it'll be awesome. It's really cool. It's like a big one-way deal, I guess. Yeah. Or do you got to make it back to Ozark?
No, it's a one-way deal.
Ends in New Mexico.
You get to New Mexico and then spend the next 2 days going 55 all the way back home.
Yeah, they did say they encourage people to continue on 66 and make more of a route of it if you want to, but it's not part of the rules. It's completely up to those people.
Yeah.
And let's run down through this because, again, I'm converting this to audio. This is the 666 event. This is put on by Tom Bailey and Sick the Magazine. The tracks you're looking at on there are Ozark Raceway, back to the back to Mocan Dragway, Tulsa Raceway Park, Amarillo Dragway, Alien City Dragway, and Albuquerque Dragway. Again, we don't have a lot of information on this, and we're not trying to horn in on what Mike Narks does because he covers this extensively. So please check out Drive and Drag Addiction or Drag and Drive Addiction because those guys are constantly keeping up with this stuff.
Well, and when we get him on here, he'll go into depth with all the information that he has, right? So
absolutely,
which is probably a lot more. I guarantee it's a lot more than what we know of.
He's in tight with a lot of people, and he knows a lot of things about the drag and drive world. And we're not trying to turn everybody over to that, but again, we said on the last show, the guy does a lot of work. He does a lot of research. He pays attention to that entire arena of the sport. So keep up with Drag and Drive Addiction. Those guys are good. But Bo dropped something.
No, trying to get my light turned back on There we
If
go.
you're on this
Sorry.
podcast for actual news or value added information, you're probably shopping at the wrong store. If you want some good stuff on drag and drive events, yeah, hit up Mike Narks at Drag and Drive Addiction. Because
You know, I never thought
we don't know much and we prove it.
Yeah, I never thought I'd bring this up on the show during the show when we're actually recording, but so I run into several people that listen or watch now, and the past few weeks, there's been people that haven't listened before, but now they're watching because it's on YouTube, so they can
Right.
watch. I had one guy, one of the places I work, I go to in service. He's like, "Man, guys are funny, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, thanks. It's an automotive."
Funny
podcast."
looking.
And he's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah. If you want to call it," I'm like, "No, stop." You know what I mean? Like, quit it. That's what it is. He's like, "Well, you guys are funny, make me laugh. I'll listen." I'm like, "Okay, thanks. Whatever it takes, I guess."
So
Dance, monkey dance.
speaking of being humorous, what project did you work on this weekend, Bo?
Me?
Yeah.
Put up Christmas lights. What
You
do you mean?
put cup holders in your car.
Oh crap! Yeah, I got cup holders now. They're sweet too, man. I should have put it up to
Should
share.
have posted up a picture of that deal.
Man, I'm going to. Not right now. I'll put it on the Facebook.
Throw up a little short.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I was gonna make cup holders. So I made a raised shifter mount to go on the floor for my new shifter. Right. I don't have any cup holders, so my plan the whole time was just to make cup holders and bolt them to that mount. Well, when I was trying to get the shifter mount done and everything set up in time to get it to the guy to tune my car. So I never did it. Well, the other day I decided it's time. So I was just going to use some round bar, heat it up, bend it, weld it, make little cup holders. I've seen them, similar. I was copying off some ones I've seen in the past. Well, I went over to Devin's shop and I'm like, "Hey man, what size round bar would you use to make?" And I had a little picture. "What size round bar would you use to do this?" And I'm going to mount it. And I already had it all planned. I'm going to mount it like this. I'm going to do this. He's like, "No, that's dumb. Don't do that." He didn't say it was dumb, but he said it would never work. He said, "Man, you need to do something else," and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't. Devin's a creative guy. And let me start by saying that. And Devin is a very good fabricator. There's no doubt. Okay. I didn't go over to Devin's shop expecting for him to have a good idea of what to make a cup holder out of. And I told him that to his face. This isn't something I wouldn't say to the man. But he's like, "Here," and he goes and he grabs he had some extra 3-inch V-band flange, just the clamps. He's like, "Make it out of this." And at first I was like, "Man, no, that's cheesy." And I'm like, "Oh, hold on, let me see that." I'm holding on. I'm like, "Okay, that might look okay." So long story short, I used some 3-inch V-band clamps and some a 3/4 inch piece of flat piece of, metal or whatever, strip metal from Tractor Supply. And bent them up and drilled a hole in my shifter mount, and now I got cup holders. Pretty stoked about it too. They work flawlessly. Made them to fit the big fat koozies in. You know what I mean? The good ones. So, yes, that was I forgot. How did I forget?
And we got to have a little bit of fun driving the car around because Bo is correct. That transmission shifts completely different than the old one does.
Yeah, it's right.
It makes fun noises when you're going into second gear.
Anything over $3,000 gets a good little chirp, and then I giggle like a schoolgirl for about 15 seconds.
And that was both of us giggling in the car for about 15 seconds. It was terrible.
Whatever, I don't care. No regrets. I'll do it again.
Now, do we want to get into talking about holiday gift ideas, or do we want to talk about the cruise, or what do we want to do here?
Oh, I don't care. We'll talk about it all.
All right. Then let's get into some.
You're gonna pull up pictures of the cruise, aren't you?
I was going to get into some of the Christmas ideas, but I was going to go. I was going to mention somebody that has been excessively cool to us. Hot Rod Central. You can actually run up there, pick up some shirts, pick up some parts. There's a lot of vintage speed parts up there, and this is a picture from inside there. Those guys have been cool to us the entire time. We went on a cruise with them this weekend. Bo didn't have his car ready, and of course, my car isn't ready. So,
oh, my car's ready. I could have drove it. I just can't get in. I just can't get. I mean, if I can't go do burnouts and do little silly things, then I don't want to do it. I'll just drive. But main reason is I had my little girl with me, and while she loves the wagon, and she rather would have taken the wagon too. It was kind of cold, and I didn't want to make her uncomfortable during the cruise, even though my wife even told me she would have been fine. You should have drove the wagon. So I kind of regret not, but we drove the truck and we were comfortable and we were fine and whatever. We weren't the only one driving a non-hot rod vehicle that day.
You are correct. I was in the F-150. But Hot Rod Central, great guys, car guys. This is actually their shop truck. Run by there, check those guys out, pick up some Christmas presents for your gearhead guy or your gearhead gal, and those guys have been awesome to us, and we highly encourage everybody to be awesome to them.
Yeah, and the cruises are fun, man.
I had a lot of fun on the cruise, and I have never been to that cafe before, and I was certain when we pulled up that there's no way we were fitting everybody in there.
Yeah, agreed.
Very small place.
But someone is a smart fella and called ahead and said, "Hey, we're gonna have a party here of about this many people." So we had plenty of room. They had a room saved for us. And we sat next to a car that's in the Guinness Book of World Records in that place.
Really?
Yeah. Most stickers on a car or something like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
That thing was completely covered in stickers, completely covered in vinyl.
It's an quarter-inch by quarter-inch square stickers all over it that made what looked like a wrap, but made out of little tiny stickers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was an old Nash Rambler.
Yeah.
Really cool car, really cool place. Highway Cafe in Veneta.
There was a big boy outside.
There was a big boy outside. That was awesome.
Took a picture. Jolie stood next to him. I took a picture. So
that's cool. I'm still trying to figure out why somebody would chase that record.
I don't know. I got nothing.
The Guinness Book of World Records, like almost all of them, throw me off because there's some of them in there that I don't understand. Like,
why is that a record?
The TV show, was it Jackass, where they did the one-hand clapping world record?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why that's a world record. I don't get it at all.
I can't do it. My oldest son can do it really good. He can do it with both hands. He used to take me off because he would just go and start doing that. It's like, and it would be, sound like this. Stop it. You look weird.
Huh. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah,
but
I can't.
Holiday gift ideas. I want to go ahead and get into this. I borrowed a tool from Devin.
Ooh.
The hell is it?
It is a tubing bender so that I can actually get the angle that I'm looking for out of the hard lines that I'm trying to bend up for the transmission. So I now have a new motivation on that. Hopefully I can do this a third time and actually make it work. So when it comes to Christmas gifts, tools, you can't go wrong with tools. There's some really cool tools out there.
Yeah. You know what a really good one is? If you got a gearhead car guy, boom.
LED lights.
At any point, if you got this for Christmas, would you be disappointed?
No.
You know why?
Lights are always good.
Yeah. If there was a dozen of them in here and somebody got me one, I'd be like, sweet, I needed one of those.
Hey,
that's
if you go over to Jimmy's shop right now, I think he's got 5 or 6 of those lights. They'll have a magnetic base, stick into the air compressor, all on a charger, all charging right now. I mean, he tints windows, so he uses it for that too.
Yeah.
But whenever I was working my car over there, we always had a light. Never a shortage of lights.
There's no shortage of light in my garage. Yeah. I have 3 of these things stuck to my car all over the place the whole time I'm out here working. Yeah. I'm charging them all the time. Go dead, charge another one up, do some stuff. It's always better a little light.
Yeah.
We're getting old. We can't see things real good, so you got a little light.
What
So that-
one of my
that is
suggestions one of my suggestions is for car guys, they can't have enough black t-shirts that has something to do with hot rods on them.
That's
can't
always
go
a good
wrong.
one.
You cannot go wrong.
And if you think you
Right
might
size.
be an XL or a 2X, round up.
Yeah. Room to grow, you know.
Because there ain't no guy gonna go, oh man, she got me a 2X. Do I look that fat? No. He's gonna say,
I do know one guy that might do something.
by and
like
large,
I
we're not sensitive about that kind of
that.
thing.
No.
I have to deal with an emotional terrorist who calls himself John and comes in front of a large group of people after I've requested a Mountain Dew. Comes in front of a large group of people and goes to hand me a Diet Mountain Dew. And I go, man, really? And then everybody in the room laughs. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not self-conscious about my weight at all. Heck yeah.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. The timing was perfect.
The timing was perfect. It was great delivery. Great delivery. Now, as far as car parts,
Don't buy
As a-
anybody
as-
car parts.
as a gift idea, thank you. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Under
Unless
no
you know it,
circumstances, if somebody has given you a specific list or saved an item or sent you the link to an item, go ahead.
Bo has a
Okay.
solution on this.
I don't have a solution, but I have, maintenance items. If you know what kind of oil filter they
Yeah.
run, or what kind
Yeah.
of oil or spark plugs or spark plug wires, even if you know for sure what they are, yeah, get those deals.
If you
Well,
want to go
both-
grab me like
Tub of towels?
51060R Wix racing filters,
Yeah, see,
down
that's
like
fine.
4
Those
flat.
kind of parts, I'm cool.
Jam on.
Yeah, don't buy me
Give me a
personalized
case.
valve covers or something.
You got me a case of Schaefer's. I'm so excited. That's a good gift. Even a
Daddy.
quart.
Yeah.
Even a quart's a good gift. You know what's a really good gift? I got a couple visual aids here handy if you guys didn't understand.
I love it.
Bingo.
Excellent. You cannot have enough screwdrivers. You can't.
Thank you. You can't. I got a whole drawer.
So do I.
A whole drawer dedicated to screwdrivers. And if somebody got me don't go to Walmart and just get a guy a set of screwdrivers because he's going to use those ones to break ice in the cooler.
Yeah.
That's what Walmart screwdrivers are. If you go to Napa or if you go to O'Reilly's or if you're at Lowe's and get a decent set of screwdrivers, you don't have to go broke on this deal. Nobody is going to be like, oh my God, screwdrivers. Seriously. Screwdrivers are great.
Hey, even the Craftsman
Every time.
screwdrivers from Sears, the big
Yeah.
25 piece, those aren't
Yeah.
bad at all.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Now I've got probably 6 of the, and I don't know what you call them, so somebody's going to call me out on this. I don't care. The square head screwdrivers. Have you guys got any of the square heads?
I've got some. Yeah, with the drive a square head screw.
Yeah.
yeah, I do.
Okay, I have those, and I've never used one ever in my life.
Cooler ice.
Well, never
Yeah,
mind. then.
that's what they're for. Yeah,
It's usable. Excellent.
yeah. You break ice.
Never used them.
No.
For me, and this goes right back to Bo's black T-shirt thing. You can't go wrong with a black T-shirt. And again, they're right. Round up, whatever size you think they are. Round up. I'm a big fan of what I call the car guy uniform. I'm black shirts and khaki shorts, and right now I'm wearing a pair of Dickie shorts as we speak. I don't think there's a car guy that I know that's not rocking a pair of Dickie shorts sometime in the summertime.
That being said, I don't need clothes for Christmas. I need screwdrivers or not.
I need screwdrivers.
Unless it's a cool
Tub
hot
of
rod shirt.
towels. Get a guy tub of towels.
Yeah.
Who don't need those?
Well, that was going to be one of my other items. Cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
Sneak
yeah,
out to the garage, see what kind of junk he's using right now.
yeah.
Get that. I keep on acting
What's
like
he wiping his junk off
for
with?
wives only. This
Get
is
him
for,
some of that.
This is for everybody.
It's for everybody. Everybody.
My sister listens to this, and every year for Christmas, she has no idea what I want.
Really?
Yeah. If you're listening
Wow.
now, black t-shirt, it doesn't matter. Black t-shirt that just says I'm a car guy
Either
or
like,
something like
either
that.
a band, one of your favorite bands, or a band, or hot rod stuff. Anything to do with cars. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
wearing my new 187 shirt today.
Nice.
Well, you can't see it.
Nice.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if I wasn't wearing this stinking
It's,
bodysuit of a hoodie.
Yeah, Chris got his. It
Sleeves.
it showed up, no sleeves.
Nice.
They-
That's funny.
They de-sleeved it for him.
I love that. That's hilarious.
We don't know if
It doesn't matter.
we
It
don't
doesn't
know if it
matter.
was Sean that cut the sleeves off, but in
He
his
cut
head
them
it
off.
was. Yeah.
We're just gonna go with he cut them off.
It doesn't matter. So what other visual aids do you have over there, John?
Mhm.
I don't know which family member got this for me. It could have been my loving wife. But what we have here
Is upside down.
is a thing. I use it a lot. You can tell.
Yeah.
This is one of them things that you can
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's a
and
contour
then you
guide.
know what your nose looks like.
contour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Froze looks like that, but it's not from his nose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll go no further with that. But yes, no, I can imagine several uses you would have for that.
Really? I've been trying to figure it out. I just measured some things.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
that's
If
one of
you're
those
gonna-
tools that it's not. You don't think about it until you need one, and then when you have it, it's like the best things in sliced bread.
Yeah. Someday I'll use it.
Just haven't
I don't
figured
know
it out
when
yet.
that's going to be.
Well, I wish I'd had some visual aids because I mean, at least you
Like-
didn't get a backseat trash can.
Hey, those are handy sometimes.
Now they are that you got 15 kids, they might be handy. But 10, well, not 10 years ago, 14 years ago. You know what I mean? You didn't
Yeah.
need it.
I do have one visual aid that I want to throw up here, but it gets complicated really fast. So that
yeah, I have one of those.
is a brake line flaring tool. I want the better one. I want the one that Devin has that mounts on your vise.
Yes.
And I don't know if anybody, like if you watch any Motor Trend shows, they use them on I think it's Roadkill Garage. David Freiberger's a big fan of them. But they mount on a vise and they have a big handle on them, and you move the thing like 3 times, and it's a perfect flare. I want one of those so bad I can taste it. Like it looks like one of the handiest tools I've ever seen.
Do you know what I want really bad? And I don't know that I would really ever use it. I've seen Finnegan use it a couple times now. It goes on the end of the drill or any drill, and it's like a 3 like this, but it sands like tubing. It goes around tubing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want one of those really bad, and I don't know why. I don't know that I would ever use it.
I don't know.
I don't know where I would.
Which
I
I need
don't
a
know
name
where I
of.
would use it, but you can't have enough tools. I can't say
No.
that enough.
Okay. If the car
of towel.
person, tub of
For
towels,
sure.
if you have a car guy in your life, what a brother, friend, if you buy your friends Christmas gifts, which by the way, I bought you guys Christmas gifts.
Why?
Well, you already know what they are, but I'm gonna call them
That's
Christmas
true.
gifts.
'Cause he
just
loves us.
Get him some signage or something for the garage.
Yeah.
It don't,
My
it don't have to be
office
anything. It don't have to
full
be
of it.
anything big. Those little $10 tins that say Valvoline on them, those things are the
Yeah.
stuff. Those are really cool.
Yeah, I might actually like those just a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what my
Mine
office
throw.
looks like.
In this area right here,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. My favorite one is this one. My wife got me that for Christmas a couple years ago in HOA.
My favorite that's hanging on this wall, you never see it on the show because it's behind the car, and I'll have to move the car at some point so that we can. I have an old Willys poster. Like I was a Jeep guy at one time. I'm still a Jeep guy. I love Jeeps, but I've got an old Willys poster over here that has one of the flat fender Jeeps coming at you down a trail, and it says the "Go Anywhere, Do Anything" Jeep. And it's just a really cool retro poster. And even something as simple as I had some pictures printed off and put in a frame of when John and I actually made the Hot Rod Network website when we made it with the Nova at Hot Rod Power Tour. I had that picture blown up and framed, and it's hanging up in here. I've got a picture from Hot Rod Power Tour 2012 that covers the entire parking lot up here on the wall. And these are events that I was a part of, and these are things that I was a part of. Get a picture of something that they were a part of. You know, I know Bo had a moment of pride when his wagon was featured on one of the posts on Rocky Mountain Race Week.
Yeah.
It's little stuff like that for car guys that keeps us going, that keeps us motivated. You know, you see somebody appreciating what you've done, and we want to remember that. So, you know, there's stuff hanging on my wall that's just stuff that I've done.
You bring that up, and if someone was to take that picture and make it a poster, that is an amazing gift, right?
Yeah.
And I have that on my list as customized, like posters or signage and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that's really cool. That goes a long way with car guys, car people.
It really
I don't say
does.
Car guys, there's lots of car girls too, car ladies that like stuff like that also.
Yeah, if they're not watching us, so it's fine.
Not yet.
I mean, look
Hey,
at
which
this.
brings me to the next point. So this is way off topic, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So, you know, Fro, is your wife, would you consider her a hot rod lady?
No.
Okay, me? No. Shanda's kind of a hot rod lady. Your wife is, John.
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit. I'm not saying fully fledged, like, you know,
Yeah.
but she likes to go do events, and a lot of it with her,
Yeah.
I think she just likes spending time with you too.
It just likes to fit in.
She likes to be with you. She's your wife. She
Yeah.
loves you. So, how many guys do you know that are married to or engaged or with a woman that does not even like cars, not involved, but somehow they still make it work out, right?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever thought about it the other way around? What about women that are really car women? Do they date dudes that aren't into cars?
Man,
Because I don't think they do.
I bet that would be hard.
I think that would be too hard. I don't think that relationship would last. I'm not trying to get into relationships on this show, but I was watching
Yeah, I don't think that relationship could go that way.
yeah. I don't think so. But
Yeah.
I bet you it's I don't know. Anyway, sorry. That's way off topic.
I feel like there's something I could say on this. Like it would kind of equate itself to people who hunt or people who watch college football or something like that. You know, I don't think any of those really jive. You know, there's people dating each other who don't like the same college football team, but they're both college football fans. I think it's the same thing with cars. You know, you may not be into drag racing, you may not be into autocross, but you're big into lowriders. Like there almost has to be at least some kind of mutual thing going on there.
Yeah, could you imagine being at home and your wife tells you, "Hey, bring us some more beers to the garage," and you bring beers outside and it's her and her guy friends working on a car? And you're like,
Yeah.
what can I do? Go back in the kitchen, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Yes, ma'am.
Well,
You guys want to start a Ouija board? Sorry.
and I don't know how you guys kind of went about this, but like I'm pretty straight up with how I deal with people. And when I met my wife, one of the first things we did was we took about a 45-minute ride on the Harley. So she knew I was into bikes at that time. Our second date, we went down to the dam in Rory's Jeep. I borrowed Rory's Jeep and took her down to the dam. I don't think there's ever been a time when I didn't make it absolutely clear what it was I was into. And I think that's kind of how you have to approach it, especially with something like this. I think that's the same thing with going the other way with the opposite sex. I think they would have to be clear right off the bat. I'm a car person. This is how it's going to be from this point moving forward.
You know, I was very clear with my wife when we started dating, but I don't think she understood
the level.
We started dating post shop.
Yeah.
After the shop. So she really had no idea how much time I spent up there, you know, how much time our friends spent up there, and how much car stuff we actually did on any given week. It didn't have to be, oh, race week is coming up, because we didn't do that. It was just for that week. Anyway, so she never really understood until about 3 years ago when I got this car and I started working on the car. Then she realized that I have this sickness that I had been hiding for a couple of years from her, where she knew I was always looking at car stuff. I was always, even when I didn't have a car, I was on Marketplace or Craigslist, whatever, looking for parts and looking for cars, looking for deals, and reading my Hot Rod magazines and my Truckin' and my Muscle Mustang and Fast Forwards magazines and all that stuff. So she knew that I was into this stuff. I don't think she understood how bad it was with me until I, had a project to work on. And now she's like, right, crazy. But it just made her realize that she wishes she had some kind of hobby, because her hobby's me and her kids. Or I say her kids, our kids.
Going back to the shop days, do you think that everybody handles things the same way that we handled things when we were at the shop? Do you think it's one of those things where they spent as many moments together as they could? Do you think they spent 24-hour days up at the shop working on a car, working on a truck, trying to get ready for some event? Or was that just us?
I think there probably is other people, groups of guys that do that, but I don't think it's common. I think it's a rare
bunch of
thing.
sickos.
Yeah.
Because that's the hard part for me to get across to my wife is like this is a complete culture shift. My life now is a complete culture shift compared to where it used to be. Because I literally, if I missed a night at the shop, I felt like I missed something.
The night you missed would be the night the craziest thing ever happened.
Exactly.
So
I was not there the night that girl rolled her truck, and I regret that every day.
Yeah.
I'm okay not there that day.
Well,
I got a lot of.
I watched it. I was right there, double fisting, going, "Oh my God, yes!" She did it. She actually did it.
Yeah,
she rolled her truck over on the parking lot. How are we going to explain this to Hightower and Byfield?
Nope.
But no, as far as holiday gifts, talk to your significant other and see, listen to them. My goodness, just listen, because they'll tell you everything that you need to know.
It doesn't have to be a significant other. It could be your brother-in-law or your sister or whatever.
Yeah,
and I know, Bo. We've talked to you about this before. You've actually you have like a registry you've set up on, don't you?
Not for me.
Okay, I thought like Jegs had a little section where you could go and register like what you would want.
Yeah, Amazon has that. You can do
Amazon.
That. I don't do that for me. I do that. I listen to my wife throughout the year, and every time she says, I kind of like that, I'll go right to Amazon. Sorry. Right to Amazon, but she likes this. And then that's the way when it, any gift giving occasion pops up, I'm right there. You know what I mean? And I got something on deck ready to go. So I don't have to think because I'm not very smart.
I think that's all of us.
So, yeah, not for me. That's not a bad idea though. But then she would know what kind of stuff what kind of money I was spending. And she doesn't.
You got a point.
It's a danger zone.
I don't hide that from my wife. If she asks me how much something costs, I will tell her straight up. But if she doesn't ask, I don't tell her either. Because I don't think she wants to know.
Until now.
Now, if you're one of them gift card type of people,
yeah,
don't get it at Walmart. Just jump on the old interwebs run over to Summit, grab a gift card, give him that.
Yeah.
There's 0 people that can't find something on Summit that they want to buy and wouldn't
Facts.
just go ahead and do it with a gift card.
See, and I like the old
cool.
I like the old school stuff. So I know my father-in-law a couple times has actually got me a gift card for Speedway. Speedway is where I generally tend to shop for stuff. So
Speedway's got a lot of cool stuff.
They do.
I like Speedway. But if anybody's curious, and this may spark another conversation here, I think all of us would take this
Yeah.
as a Christmas present. Now, I know I talked to a friend of mine who does another podcast, Steve. He's on the, I think they call it Smoked Meats and Mini Trucks podcast now. But they touched on
what? Stop. What?
Smoked Meats and Mini Trucks.
So do I have to resubscribe? Do I have to go back?
No, it just,
It's the same. It still falls under the. It's the same as where the old Mad Fro Monroe stuff was.
Okay.
still shows up.
Still
All right,
shows up.
so what we have here for all of you that can't see, that can only hear, is a 2024 F-150 Sleeper Edition. It is a boner Ford F-150. Looks like a little city truck. Got the boner wheels, the plastic grill, the black bumpers. I'm guessing it has like a rubber floor mat. Like it's the most bone stock basic of the basic F-150 you can get. 2-wheel drive, short bed, regular cab. And they put a Roush Performance supercharger on it. And now it's a 705 horsepower Coyote 5.0 F-150.
Hey, here it says you have your choice of cloth or vinyl seats.
Oh,
Or
cloth.
what? This is 373 electronic locking rear axle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's
That's an extra.
It's a good little truck. It's and somebody had the wherewithal to go ahead and market it. Because I believe you can get those performance options added at the dealer and keep it under warranty. Like the Roush Performance supercharger. I think if you go buy a new F-150, you can get that added.
It doesn't have to be like a qualified dealership. It can be any dealership or what?
To my knowledge, like when we bought Shanda's Challenger, they went through a list of things like, hey, you want to buy all this crap too?
Yeah.
No, I want to buy all that crap later.
Yeah.
but yeah, we could have superchargered that and exhaust and all the fancy stuff there and it been under warranty. This is just a really good deal on a supercharged F-150.
Man, I bet you add the better bumper and grill and the paint matched mirrors and some better looking wheels. I bet you goes up 30 grand.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Hey, where'd Fro go?
I don't know. He pooping probably.
Okay, yeah, it happens.
But yeah, I think if you
This is
like
a 2-wheel drive deal, right? Yeah.
it's a 2-wheel drive deal. It would be real easy though to take this truck and put a good set of wheels and a little bit of a suspension setup on it.
Yeah, you can do what old
Just
Murder
roll
Nova and those guys do. They find these trucks and then they go find the salvage yard trucks with the good mirrors and they'll throw the mirrors on and the bucket seats and they swap all that stuff out. Which
Absolutely.
I think that's genius. There's nothing wrong.
Genius. For sure.
Hello. Yeah, man. Still has a warranty, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So if anybody's just I don't know any car guys that would turn that down if you got it for them for Christmas.
No, not at all.
I mean, that's a good gift.
Kind of a big one.
Kind of a big one.
wonder what else he's got on this slideshow. He's not around, so I wonder if I should just, peruse a little bit.
Yeah, let's roll
Oh,
on.
hey, there he is. We definitely weren't about to go through all the pictures.
Everything come out all right?
You can actually feel free to go through all the pictures. Yeah, I had I thought I
That's
had
fine.
a personal emergency in the house. Turns out it's not. It's just I have loud children.
We already explained where use that. That's fine.
Perfect.
You'll hear about that later. Anyway,
I have no doubt. As far as what we still have on the slides, I've got some pictures from the cruise. We can probably get into those at a separate time. I'm going to remove
Cruise.
these.
hold on. I have a question. John.
Hit me.
Hold on. John's question. Do you have questions?
Do I have a question?
Do you have trivia this week?
Ooh.
Oh crap! Where's it at? No,
No trivia this week?
my notes aren't with me. I didn't think we were triviaing.
I didn't know either. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
I was pumped and ready for this. I've been honing my mechanical knowledge all this week just for
Really?
this. Yeah. Like I'm jacked up about trivia questions. I love them.
Hey, I had one more thing on my list of gifts.
What do you got?
Basic shop towels.
Yeah.
Not tub of towels.
No,
Just
the
the regular old
toolbox.
cloth towels. Yeah.
I
Those are
use
awesome.
the toolbox towels. I probably go through every other month. I'm buying another. You know the ones I'm talking about?
No.
Really?
No. Let's see them. Hey, I just need you to come back to my house about every 3 months. So my name. Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 I use the toolbox. The
No, I'm
toolbox
talking
and
about-
the tub of towels.
I'm talking about like cloth. Well, you can't see.
Oh yeah, I love
So like the
yeah.
white towels my neighbors give me whenever you come over.
Yeah,
Yeah, those. I still have a bunch of those.
yeah. I'll have to come back so they can.
I've been washing them. I wash and reuse.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
Yeah, most everything.
Oh, I do want to throw one more thing in on this. I know a lot of guys in their shop, they use floor dry. I don't like floor dry. I can never get that stuff cleaned up. I can never get it out from under everything that I need to get it out from under. I like pig mat. Have you guys used pig mat before?
Yeah,
Devin's got a whole bunch of it at his shop. I've never
Pig
used
mat is awesome. Highly recommend that stuff. Highly recommend everybody uses that stuff. I hate floor dry. Can't deal with it.
okay. Does anybody want to answer a question?
A question. What is your question?
Does anybody know when windshield wipers were invented?
I'm gonna bow out because me and you actually talked about this the other day. So Fro, this is all you, Broseph.
I'm also going to bow out because you and I talked about this just
Oh,
yesterday.
we did. I ruined it. I ruined the bit.
Oh man.
But no,
Wah,
fire into it because I think it's a very interesting story.
I still don't know what year.
Okay, so
I just know gender.
If I were to guess on year, I would say 1968.
68, you'd be wrong by a fair amount.
68.
Okay.
Yeah, he's so.
Well, I apologize.
I'm thinking like-
Is that when they became mandatory?
I don't know. Or I don't even.
They're
know.
still not mandatory. This
don't
rig
think
right
they're
behind me don't have windshield wipers.
Yeah.
You learned that yesterday.
Windshield wipers were invented by a woman named Mary Anderson in 1905.
Ooh, I was gonna say 1917. That's gonna be
Yeah.
okay.
To
So
remove the hassle of driving in the rain or snow. Before the windshield wipers, you'd have to stop and get out of the car and clean the windshield off by hand. Now, I got a secondary question to that question.
okay.
So, like when you're driving down the road and it starts to rain and you're not by yourself, you got your wife with you. How many drops hit the windshield before she says, "Are you going to turn them wipers on?"
It's not even. It's
17.
not even a question as to how many drops hit the windshield before she tells me to turn them on. It's a question of, do I have them on the right speed? Because for me, For me, they're at the right speed. For her, she's like, I can't see.
Do you ever
Yeah.
been driving along the road and then realize all of a sudden your windshield wiper's going nuts and everybody else is going really slow and you're like, oh, I'm a panicker. I'm going to turn these down. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic. Turn
Yeah.
that down. I don't know.
But no. So 1905, that would have been like either a hand operated or a vacuum actuated windshield wiper.
Probably one of them where they just
Exactly.
you just reach up and do it.
Now I myself in 1905, had I have had a car, I'd probably be pulling that Dale Earnhardt Sr. maneuver where I'm just hanging out the window and wiping the windshield off.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I'd have a towel on a stick or something. And just
See, it's funny because this is my biggest fear of getting this car up and running is I've taken all the heater stuff out of it. So I'm not going to have a defroster. So I'm not worried about the wipers so much as I'm worried about the defroster. And my wife will be the first one to look at me and go, hey, can you turn? And she's reaching down, hitting buttons. I don't know what's happening. And then the defroster's on.
Yeah.
You plan on
But-
driving that deal a bunch in the rain and inclement weather?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Then why'd you get rid of the heater and defroster?
Because there's a lot going on in this car. It sat for a very long time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very honest about this. I pulled everything out from under the dash that I could pull out from under the dash. And I am absolutely ecstatic that I did because this car sat long enough that there were rat's nests on top of the heater, on top of the glove box, on top of under the seats, in the frame rail. There were rat's nests in the frame rail on this car.
A lot of that too, it is actually arguably cheaper, easier, and heats and cools better using one of the aftermarket, like a Vintage Air type setup. Not that it has to be branded Vintage Air, but I think like to rebuild a stock configuration AC system, like if you wanted to stock AC in your Malibu, the wagon, and there's a lot of garb you got to go through to get that.
Yeah.
And you got all that. You're gonna see it all, but you could easily put a vintage heater air kit in that Malibu.
Now
And
I
it look
have,
cool and everything be cool.
yeah, I have looked at just the heating kits. It's just a box, like 3 vents, and then you can run ducting off of those for a defroster, and a couple of vents go down to the floor. I actually have been looking at those because there's going to be times where it might be chilly out when we're out driving, and I would like to have a defroster at least. Until then, I'm going to have a little 12, plug in a cigarette lighter,
Yeah.
defroster up on the windshield. I've had trucks in my first small block S10. That's what I did driving it in the winter.
Yeah.
Took a little while, but it worked.
I can tell you you can only get so far on the Rain X and Fog X.
Yeah.
I know because it was painful in the Nova.
Well, and
I have no heater air. That's
where I'm going to get lucky on this is a lot of the parts on my car. A lot of the parts are not interchangeable between a Mustang or a Falcon and a Fairlane. It just so happens the heater box, it's the same pretty much across the board. So if I order a full 65 Mustang AC and heater kit, it's going to work perfectly fine in this car because they were all the same in the 60s. So
Bonus.
yep. That's one of the few areas where I'm going to get lucky. Now I say lucky, that kit runs about $1,800 if I remember correctly. So it's not going to be cheap, but it'll make me happy in the end, and that's what matters.
Feel like you got time to save money,
Exactly.
So last time we talked, we were getting all jazzed about working on your car and getting some stuff done.
I know. I listened to that episode and I was like, man, I can't wait for those guys to come down here. And then you didn't show up. And then I was sad.
What? We were supposed to show up here?
No, I'm just playing. I'm joking.
Oh, I was like, man, I didn't get that memo.
No, I agree. I listened to that show and I got jacked up about the car. That's why I'm glad that I did pick up some tools from Devin so that I could get those hard lines made.
Yeah.
The hard lines and the mechanical fan are the only thing stopping me from driving this thing to Miami, so that you can look at it and kind of tell me, hey, you're an idiot. Don't
The
do that.
only thing.
Well, I need you to get that done because my manual brake kit will be here Monday. So I'm gonna need to bend up some lines myself soon.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. I borrowed those tools from Devin.
I'm
should have
actually
known
not
you
in
were going to need them.
Not in any hurry. I do take my car back to the tuner tomorrow, so drop it off with him. Devin's going to go with me. Devin's going to meet Scott, the tuner, and they're going to talk about Devin's hot rod. The thing's ridiculous, and
It's going to be a fun car.
Yeah.
it's
So-
silly. It's silly.
Yeah.
He was
It's,
actually talking. I was talking to him yesterday when you had stepped out for a little bit, Bo, and he was kind of upset because he's hoping to have this thing running in time for some of the Dragon Drive events this year, but
And he will.
he already has some shows booked that are going to interfere with some of that.
Well, I'll talk to him tomorrow and tell him if he wants me to take his car to some events. I guess I can do it. Ugh.
Ah, the horrible life of a monster truck driver.
Bummer.
No, his car's ridiculous. It's and you told him yesterday, Fro. You looked right at him, said, "This is the definition of overbuilt." And
It is.
but it's not wrong at all. I mean, he's good, man. He's good to go for anything.
If he can't make that car work, it ain't the car.
No, it's got everything. It's got everything there.
It really does. And
I'm not worried about it at all.
And he's going to great lengths to get as much data as he can through that system. That will be one of the most data heavy cars that any of our guys have ever had.
For what we're doing, yeah. I don't have a fuel gauge, man. You know what I mean? He's got shock sensors and travel sensors and all kinds of junk.
Bo has a
I
Speedo
check
now.
my trans temp by touching the
Floor
tongue.
hump?
Yeah,
Me too.
put my hand on the hump.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Hey, I do have a Speedo in my car now, though. What's up?
Yeah.
And
It is
so will
good.
both of you. And so will both of you very soon. Merry Christmas.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm so jacked up about that.
Timo for the win.
Hey, if anything, I got a really good Speedo out of the deal. And it's money. I pulled up the GPS speedometer on my app on my phone that I normally use, and I set it up and I cruised, and it is money. It's right on. Now, one of them, I don't know if it's my phone or the little GPS or the speedometer, but one of them reacts a little bit slower. It takes just a touch longer to change. You know what I mean? But it's still right on. You know, once you're at a solid pace, they're the same. So the mile per hour is accurate once it gets there, but it's still pretty fast. Whichever one's slow. I mean, I don't know. It's one of them.
So to put a bow on this show, I'm going to go ahead and bring up one last picture. Exhibit A.
Look at
You
that.
guys have heard us talk about the panel truck on the show before. We picked this thing up in the hills of Missouri. Just a fun little thing that we're going to wind up working on at some point.
Hey, I've got
You guys-
$100 that says 3 of those tires still have air in them.
That's awesome.
$100 that says I'll go up there tomorrow and check.
I would bet you, but I've been there since we dropped that truck off the trailer. When was the last time, according to the stories, when was the last time this truck was actually used on any kind of steady basis? Does anybody remember?
No.
I thought it went to the woods in the 70s, didn't it?
I mean, you
I
can
think
tell
so.
by looking at the battery that's still in there.
Yeah.
It's an AC Delco 6-volt battery. I mean, it hasn't been used in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So the last time it was tagged was, what year was it?
66, I believe, is what it has.
Yeah.
It's an old county truck. Or county or city, something like that. It's a 1-seater. It does have some extras on the dash, but I'm ready to get over there and get some tires, clean those wheels up, repaint those, get that grill guard, throw it in the trash, paint the bumper, paint the headlight bezels. Like that thing would be fun.
Yeah, we still got to figure out. There's a lot of debate to how we're gonna go about it. I mean,
It's true.
in
And
all,
we
in
are
all honesty,
Master debaters.
yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch of different ways to go about doing what we want to do. Our main goal is to make some content with this thing, get it running and driving, and sell it. I mean, we're not.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I mean, that's the plan. We're not in any kind of rush. Obviously, none of us have been up there since a few weeks after I parked it there.
Now
But
is
the
the
thing
perfect.
what we run into is the frame and everything seems to be in good shape, but all that's going to have to be rebuilt, every bit of it. It's going to cost more money to rebuild everything that's there than it is to put it on an S10 frame. Colby has an S10 frame that we need at his shop already. He said, if you guys want to use this frame, I will donate it to the cause. So we have an S10 frame, and now we can make our own body mounts.
Yeah.
There's a company out there. I have it saved. I can't think of the name. It's like $1,200, and it comes with all the body mounts, bumper mounts, transmission mounts, motor mounts, all made in the U.S. The guy makes it all per order. You call it, and he cuts it up, and they're adjustable body mounts too. So you could do a body drop.
You can get it as low as you want,
and it's all bolt in. You don't have to weld anything in. It's all bolt in stuff using, So I mean, it's as much as I don't want to spend $1,200 at one time on this deal that we're trying to keep super budget. I think that honestly might be the best way, because then we're going to end up with better brakes, better suspension, everything all the way around. It's going to be better.
Well, and time is far more valuable than
absolutely.
Because I like looking at the amount of time it would take to rebuild all the systems to get it rolling, just chassis wise, or the time to make all the bracketry to get that thing grafted onto a donor frame.
Yeah.
No chance we're going to come up with that amount of time.
Yeah, no way.
I mean, if it was in my garage and I was just the only one working on it, cool. Or if it was in your garage, you're the only one working on it, cool. We could send it to Fro's house and get some brake lines done. Our grandkids can enjoy those.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
No, he's got the special tool now, man. It's going to take.
Yeah, he's got the tool.
Hey, no kidding aside, I don't know, John, if you've ever used that kind of bender before. Oh man,
yeah, I have one right here in this drawer or that drawer. One of these two drawers has that same bender in it.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
I've got the one that you can bend conduit or brake line or whatever. It looks like a spoon with a hole cut in it, one little hook around the side. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could talk for an hour and a half on the panel alone. And maybe we will one of these days soon, but there's a lot of things to talk about.
And one of the reasons I wanted to kind of bring up that picture is that at some point we have discussed this before. We're going to try and show the videos of extracting that thing out of the area it was in, because it was an adventure. Biggest problem we run into on those videos is the audio is absolutely horrible. So it's one of those things where we're probably going to bring it on the show. We're probably going to play it segment by segment and talk about it as we're going through it.
We've talked about this, though. That truck was in a rough spot and blah, blah, blah. Things couldn't have gone any better.
No.
Right.
How that went, I don't see it being any better. There's not one thing that I feel like, well, if we would have done this, it would have made things so much easier, took so much less time, because I don't see anything.
A little positivity and a little luck, and
that
thing rolled right out of the woods.
And Jonathan.
Yeah.
And Jonathan huge balls to get in there and fight 1,000 wasps that were pissed off.
And that's one of the things I was going to say is now's the perfect time of year to go ahead and get in there and clean that truck out so that we can get all of those wasp nests out of there. get that taken care of while those things are all dormant.
Agreed.
But I think we have reached the end of another show. We've been discussing this behind the scenes. We're looking at some guests we're going to have on some upcoming shows. We'll talk about those when they get here because I don't want to be one of those people. Anything you guys want to throw in here? Like this episode should be coming out like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Not
So
this week, but next week.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be like 2 weeks before Christmas when this show finally comes out.
Yeah.
So you should see this show on December 11th,
Yep.
10th. Sorry, Sunday the 10th.
But check out the audio. We are now back on track with the audio. The audio will be coming out about 2 to 3 days after the video comes out. That's just to give me some cushion because I'm lazy. But unless you guys have something else you want to throw in there, Bo's got second gear scratches to go get, and John's going to start up his Nova and listen to it.
Now, car's going to the tuner after that.
All right.
Nitrous bottles getting filled on the way there, then getting tuned, and then hopefully pick it up Wednesday. We're done. I'm so tired of saying I just want to drive this thing because I say it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm finished though.
I wish you the best of luck since you will have a full bottle of nitrous.
But
But
before when I get it back.
But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night.
See ya.
Peace.